Hello everybody, my name is Elenator and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld episode 468 on day 6661. Y'all can see that we're in 1.17.1 at last, hooray! Game performance is slightly better from what I did with the visuals yesterday, so you could see what we're doing way over here. Well, we're waiting around for all this stuff to oxidize, but I spent a lot of time after the stream yesterday and this morning getting all those waxed and stuff, and I don't currently have my sleeping bag on me. I think I left it at the monolith. But yeah, I've just been sitting around this area waiting around for the chunks to load. So or not load, waiting around for the copper to oxidize. That way I won't have to wait around as much later. We got close, but I did all the waxing I needed to. Now I just have to wait for the last 4 to go. Because I don't need to wax the last state, the fully oxidized copper. Oh, Enderman, no. It's better not have been that one grass block that was in the block museum. That's a minor oversight. I don't have a way to prevent Enderman from stealing blocks from the block museum. Thankfully, the amount of blocks Enderman can pick up is rather small, so it's not too big of a deal. Oh look, Wither Skull. I need one of those. That's not true, I need... How many did I say yesterday? Like 16? No, that was Monday. Monday I fought the Wither. I can't remember how many more Wither Skulls I could use. And howdy Paul, welcome back. So we're gonna go... home. That's not true, we're not going home. We're gonna keep working on the monolith here. We've got work to do. I should have kept using speed while I had the chance. Missed it already. Oh well. So, let's just head back on top. What's next is the monolith, because we started yesterday and we didn't finish. Ran out of time. So we'll get back to work today. And then after the monolith, we're going to see what we do next. Perhaps tree chopping, since I don't know how much I want to keep digging that hole. I'll finish the hole probably before the world download. Probably before the grand finale. I don't want to do any digging on the grand finale. That would be boring. Say grand finale, but I don't know when UMP is going to return. Who knows? For all I know, the state of tube's gonna change a lot, and what'll end up happening is part 5 whenever I plan it to come out. Whenever that'll be, since I don't know. I can't think that far ahead. Whenever part 5 happens, for all I know, streaming on tube is no longer a viable option for me. That would be very unfortunate. Which is a reminder that I still need to download all my stuff. But I don't have the space to download another few hundred hours. Or how many episodes? I think it was going to be at 200, but it ended up being 190. 190. So 190 times 2. I should say 200 times 2 minus 4. So what's it going to be? 400. Oh. Uh-oh. Alright, cool. I picked that up. So instead of 400 stream hours, it is... Oh, am I done? Did I finish the... Hooray! So I need the dirt. 360 hours. And where is it? Where is my dirt? Alright, that one's now empty. Alright, well, let's just keep going. I'll figure out the torches when the time arrives. I think that's how I did it. Either way, I just have to make it to the top. No, sorry, not 360 hours. 380. I had to redo the math. So it's 380 hours of streams I'd have to download. 1080p, 60 FPS. Tis be quite a bit. Tis be what I don't have. So, we're gonna wait around. Well, the fog continues. Oh, hooray! I forgot I had my had minor inventory management. I no longer need to press the middle mouse button. Hooray! Automated pick block. Oh, that means I also have the... Oh, man. Save the dirt! Haha, this would be absolutely terrifying out in the real world. There was a movie. Oh, what was it called? It's a recent movie, within the past couple of years or so, I think. I don't know if Don't Look Down was the name of it or the tagline. I can't remember. I just remember seeing the trailer. Two girls climbing very tall tower of sorts. And I can't remember the name of the movie. I just saw the trailers multiple times. Howdy. I will say welcome to the stream, and I only know English. How much far? Oh, there we are. I was about to say how much farther, and then I realized, nope, we're already there. All right, 1, 2, 3, boop. All right, can I put a torch on here? I cannot, so that means if I want my torches, it has to be here. And we made it, our top 3 layers. Once I go all the way around, I'll fill in the highest point. I'm pretty sure or I should say how it used to work, is you were able to have non-solid blocks or non-full blocks at the very last layer. So you can build out of dirt all the way up to almost the top, but you'd only be able to put torches on the very top. And looks like they changed that. So now you can have full blocks in the highest building layer. But I'm not going to do anything about that. Oh, hold up. Alright, cool. No, I'm not going to do anything about that and just let it be as it is. So we're going to fill all this in and then cross our fingers that we have enough dirt to fill it in entirely, because I don't know. Time to find out. Okay, yeah, we'll be fine. I know that's not going to be the whole stack. Ta-da! How much longer until nighttime? We still have a little bit. So we're just gonna plop that torch in another torch. 4. That's 4, right? Then we'll do 1 here, 1 there. That should be bright enough. Is there a way for me to check light level? Oh, hooray, I do. So we're just gonna walk around here and see if we get anything that's 7 or lower. I only saw down to 9. There's 8. Should probably walk around the edges. Light level of 8 is fine. I think I'll be all set. Alright, well, good enough. Unfortunately, I don't get to enjoy jumping all the way down. What I'd have to do is... Hold on, where did I last end? Oh, don't tell me that's a trunk border. Oh, what? You're seeing this, right? I just placed this torch, and you're telling me you can't update that chunk right there? Well, no, I guess not. Guess it can't update that chunk right there. But yeah, I made a minor mistake. I accidentally left my bed and whatnot. Because I was gonna enjoy just jumping off, but it appears that's not gonna happen. So let's just go down real fast. Try to find where we started. Oh, I still need to put the torches all the way around going up. So I guess, good thing I didn't jump down anyway. I don't know if I have a specific placement. Oh my gosh, that's it's 256, right? Yeah, looks like we have some lighting bugs above 256. That very well could just be a 1.17 thing. Ah, that's unfortunate. This probably is a Minecraft thing as 1.17. Sure, you could have blocks and whatnot above here, but it's not the same. So now even the 16 vertical segments are affected. The 16 block vertical segments. This will be corrected 1.18, as I'm pretty sure, I should say, this should be corrected in 1.18 for the reason of this will all be properly taken care of. Unless this is a problem with one of the mods I'm using, which I will admit is a possibility. And it just was not expecting lighting above top of the world. Oh well, it's worth it since I don't have much up here to begin with. I can almost get rid of you. If I move that one over, then I can put that one there. There we go. Hooray! Y'all know me in odd numbers. Alright, slide that down. And this bedrock was my reminder that we need to work on the thingy. Just gonna bump that up 25 real fast. It's a reminder that we're gonna work on the Wither Combat Arena. And speaking of, there it is, straight ahead. Man, what a view though. Look at all those torches. And then you look over there and look, there's the sun. So yeah, we're gonna prove that it is indeed only for below sea level that you can't see the sun and stuff. So we're just gonna, hiya! So we should see that sun disappear when we hit 64. Oops. This was not a clean experiment. Basically, sun's now gone. 64 is above. Where's spawn? Oh, here it is. If we climb on top of here, can I clean up the experiment? I remember when I put stairs in here. And the trapdoor, I think. Although I don't think the trapdoor is a valid spawning location. Might be too far. Well, too slow. Alright, enough rambling. Let's catch some Z's and reset the weather timer. Doo-doo-doo-doop. Well, I wonder... The Sky Island right there is just right in the way. But we can see when the darkness happens on there as we jump off. So whenever we go below that point, the sun and moon are hidden. Alright, anyways. Away we go. I'm gonna see how much bedrock I have. No, I should see how much bedrock I would need to begin with. We'll just put all this stuff away. Else can turn that back down to good old far if we were playing anything before 1.7. That is indeed the Peekaboo Pixel Monument we just passed. It's been sitting there for a very, very long time. That wasn't really the monument, that was the original location of Peekaboo Pixel. I made a dedicated Peekaboo Pixel sign somewhere else. Alright, that one's full, this one's full, this one's not full. You know what? It can be. We're gonna fill it up. And why do I have torches in here? Boop. I'm so glad I have this inventory sort key. You better believe I'm gonna take advantage of it while it's here. Full, full, full. This one's now empty. In fact, hold on. We're gonna boop. We're gonna press it on there. I absolutely have to make sure I sort all my stuff. The honeycombs, I'll put away. I was trying to figure out what happened to all the honeycomb items as I was waiting around for the copper blocks to oxidize. I couldn't figure out why I didn't have that much. So I looked back at the stream, and then I was reminded, oh, that's right, I made a bunch of candles. That's where my honeycombs went. And alrighty, so we'll put away the slime balls. Let's think, what sort of stuff do I really need to sort? Most of the items in here are just one singular type. Oh, you know what? Hold on, I didn't realize I passed 9 stacks of slime balls. You know what that means? Time to make another. Time to make another stack of blocks. And I need one more. Poop. I guess we'll be putting these away. In fact, we'll probably... Nah, I won't get the honeycombs. I'll get the other stuff. I say boop. B-O-O-P. Alright, bows. Move that. Oh, looks like it's already sorted. Where's stuff like... What sort of things really need to be sorted that have not already been sorted? I have glass panes. Do I keep colored glass panes here? Boop. There we go. That's now been sorted. Oh, you know what? All the chests that are like this. There we go. Now we're going to keep that one as that is. What used to be in here? Plank slabs. That's got to go. So that's right. Every chest that was... What goes in here? Oh, nether stars. Every chest that was facing a certain direction after 1.13 needed to be organized. And you know what? Maybe that's why that row is missing for dyes. I think the reason why this row of dyes was missing is because these two swapped around, and so this empty row used to be at the bottom. That's what happened to it. Alright, that one's all now nice taken care of. So I guess there wasn't too many to sort in there. Alright, well, either way, let's go head back to the bee farm and place down the stacks of, or the stack of slime balls before we come back here and keep working on preparations for the wither combat. The wither combat arena itself. We will not be fighting any more withers today. Make some soup. Beetroot stew? Wait, we don't have any stew in Minecraft. We only have mushroom stew and beetroot stew. I wonder if we'll ever get others. Nope, we do. Suspicious stew. Suspicious stews in the game as well, of which I've never once had any. There's a lot of modern Minecraft stuff I just haven't done. One thing I tried once before, and it worked, and then I was sad because it didn't work anymore. On an old, it feels old, but it's only a few years. On an old Bedrock world I used to play on with a few other buddies, I had this underwater minecart system. And it was kind of cool because I was like, you know, they added the ability to waterlog rails. This is cool. I should do something like that. So in the lake that was near to my house, I set up, I keep that, poop. In the lake near to my house, I set up an area, well, I guess I was here recently. In a lake near to my house, I set up a little underwater minecart track. It wasn't very long, it was just going from one end of the lake to the other. And it was fun because I got to enjoy going from one side to the other. Ah, I don't bounce high enough. So that was all fun and dandy, and it worked fine because I had my nether portal on the other side. So there's no issue there. But then the world was converted over to Java, and I no longer was able to ride underwater. The minecart had extreme fluid drag, and that made me very sad. Oops. I didn't realize this wasn't here. Oh, you gave me a flint. No. No, where's my gravel? Is there any extra gravel down here? I don't think gravel counts as... No, maybe gravel is part of the population. It's miserable. It's very unfortunate because I can't fix that. I don't have the gravel block to put down there. I'd have to go all the way to the warehouse for that one gravel block. I'm probably just going to leave the block missing. I don't feel like going all the way back just for one gravel. We're almost there. I just need to keep building that slime wall all the way up to the top. And then I can start collecting slime balls again. And then hold on to all of it until next time. Because I don't know what else I'm going to use slime for. Hopefully I collect enough slime balls to finish this before part 4 is over. In fact, we're going to collect more slime balls right now. Alrighty, come on all y'all. Hooray! Plus 25, because we had one in our inventory to begin with. So let's go put this dirt down and then go from there. In fact, we'll catch some Z's, reset the weather timer, and then we'll keep moving. This is really sad, the one missing block. We're gonna hope I don't forget this and end up publishing the world download like that. I'll probably catch it later. I don't have a pool here. Oh, that's right, that's my infinite water source for all of this. I don't think the farm's gonna make it all the way to the end. You know what? All those seeds, all those beetroot seeds from the trading I did with the villagers, it just occurred to me, had I kept all those seeds, I could have used the seeds here and replanted. Oops. I spent so many seeds in the composter. Oh well, too late for all that now. Yawn, I say as if it's been a long day. Not particularly. I feel like there's something with sprinting, but I don't know if it's just me not holding down the button correctly. Let's find out. Alright, I'm pretty sure it was just me not holding down the button correctly. Alright, well, let's put this stuff away. Alright, let's see how we're doing on bedrock. And then that'll give me a good estimate for how much I have. Alright, so we are looking at 16 stacks plus 10. Let's probably just say 16 times 64. I have 1,024. So I have 1,024 blocks I can place. And once I use up all the bedrock, no more. And then I get sad, as that was all the bedrock I had. So we're gonna head off in this direction. And now we're gonna count about how far we need to be. So over here, let me figure out just how much bedrock would need to be placed in the event that the wither were to escape. I did not collect any bedrock when I went through the nether ceiling. I just deleted the bedrock, making all my skylights. Whether that be through block deletion or through 11W49A Creative. Alrighty. So I'll need to. There's a big square, right? Alright, let's count. 15 by 15 by 15 plus 1 for the outer border is 17 by 17. Let's whip out the calculator real fast. 17 times 17 is 289. So it would take me 289 blocks just to fill the roof. Okay, about how tall is this? If I would want, probably just keep it minimal, only two block head space above the cobblestone. No, that's not gonna sit right with me. I would need 3 blocks. Alright, so I would need to add 3 blocks to the total height. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's another 13. No, plus the ground, 14. Alright, so 14 blocks tall. And if I were to want to expand another 3 blocks outward, that'd be 17, 23. So this would be 23. Well, I guess if it divided by 4, 24 times, I said 13 blocks tall, or 14. That's 336. Multiply that by 4 for the 4 sides. I do not physically have enough bedrock for the size of this I would want to make. So we're only gonna do a 1 block extension. No, because I still don't even have enough space for that. So what would it take? Because I'd essentially have to divide 1024 by 5. 204.8. I'd have about 200 blocks I could spend per side. I'm trying to think. I wonder if I'll just end up making a giant bedrock jacket. So what I mean by that is, if I just have bedrock on the roof, and then I drape it down the sides only as much as I can. I feel like that's what's going to end up happening. Once I choose this path, there's no going back. Because I need to prevent the wither from flying up. That's the big dealio. So that's what's most important, because if the wither starts falling, then it'd be far easier to defeat it, because that means you've already taken out to half health. There should not be a way to mine bedrock. Minecraft needs 1 block that is intended to be not at all for survival, and only to make sure that the world keeps functioning intentionally without players ruining stuff. Of course, it doesn't work like that, but I believe the bedrock properties should remain as they are from a game development standpoint. Alright, in fact, hold on, here's a question. If I had, let's say 289, that's 330, or 735, divide that by 4. So I really get about 183 blocks per side. And if it's 26, 83 divided by 26, I can only build down approximately 5 blocks all the way around before I'd run out of bedrock. Oh boy. Alright, well, let's do this. Howdy Griffin, welcome back. I'm not making a bedrock build. We had a problem. You know my Wither combat arena, right? The small bedrock box I first constructed, and it has this little cobblestone casing all the way around. There was an error on Monday. Monday did not go according to plan. We had a acid out of containment. I managed to slap the Wither through the 1 block hole in my bedrock ceiling that I use for light, and the Wither escaped out into the open beyond where the cobblestone casing was from. Speaking of, trying to find my cobblestone, and so I realized, uh-oh, this can't happen anymore. So I'm adding an extra layer of bedrock around my current setup, so that way no more withers in the future will be escaping. So that's what I'm gonna spend more of this bedrock on. Unfortunately, I'm running low. This is all the bedrock I have, and I don't have any plans to get more in the future. So this one I'm gonna make sure is completely filled in. The reason why I have the 1 bedrock hole in the ceiling, first, it's to get light down in there. But the second is, that's my entrance point. Because if you watch, once we get up there, it just takes a while. I should put a bubble column, but I'll do that later. Slowly, slowly as we climb the ladders. So once we go up here, you can see that the bedrock chamber is a one direction system. Because the only way to get in is through dropping down from this area. So this is our sunlight. And the only way to get out is by dropping down to the second layer below. So the problem was I slapped the Wither zoop straight up through there, out in the open. Thankfully, there weren't any other mobs nearby to draw its attention. But yeah, having the Wither way out here where it was free to fly around and destroy everything that wasn't bedrock, I needed to, I realized I should come up with a better plan for taking care of that in the future. We're just gonna hop out here real fast. Alrighty, so what we're gonna do now is construct the second layer. So I'm trying to conserve bedrock. I think I will end up doing it. Probably just 2 blocks away. So it's 1, 2 block. This will be where the bedrock goes. And then same thing for over here. 1, 2. This will be where the bedrock goes. 1 and 2. So I guess what I'll do is I'll start by going all the way around. In fact, hold on. How about we just extend the cobblestone here a little bit? I was just going to use this for scaffolding. I think now I'll use it as part of the build itself. Unfortunately, this means it's gonna be dark on the inside because I don't have any torches. But at the same time, do I really need torches inside the bedrock box? Nothing can spawn on bedrock naturally, so it might not be needed at all. So here we go. The one time I cannot mess up. So once I get this first bedrock ring all the way around, what my plan is to build it upward and then build the ceiling. And then I'll expand it lower as much as I can after. This is absolutely the time to not misclick. Well, we're getting there. I say as we're halfway. Here, we'll start on this side. I should say we'll go back to this side. Nom 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 nom. We're gonna heal up. I guess we're already full on health. Get the saturation on the up and up. Alright, so now the game plan is this is gotta be the expensive part. Because if I want my 2-block space, since I still want to walk around on top of this cobblestone, let's not hold the bedrock. Since I want to walk around on top of the cobblestone, that means 2-block headspace plus 1. So that means the bedrock goes up 3. Or I save myself a ring of bedrock and go up 2, and then use cobblestone to fill in the corner block and go outward. Then I'll just get rid of the cobble. Alright, we'll either wait 2 blocks for sure. I kind of wish, though, that I did give myself much more bedrock back in 11W49A, but all of that is past now. Spawn eggs I'm not too bummed about because I feel like bedrock has more uses than the spawn eggs. I've already used all the spawn eggs that I really wanted, other than maybe one more for the fake dungeon I created. Alright, so to save a bedrock, now I just need to go all the way around like this. And this is where I feel like if there were to be a problem, this is the part. W49A was the last time I was in creative. It's probably going to be the last time the series as a whole gets to enjoy creative, with minor exceptions. We're also going to hope I did the math right. We'll see how far this goes. Alright, so now what I need to do I need to fill the roof in. We'll see how much bedrock I have after this. And then I'll do the math again based on how much I've placed down. I should say the size of the box here. Man, it feels like I've spent so much and I haven't even filled this in yet. How much was 17 by 17 again? 289. Oh wait, hold on. How wide is this though? We're gonna finish this second row and then I'll count just how much is left. All right. So yeah, 17 by 17, that means I have another 289 to place down. Divide that by 64, it's 4.5 stacks. 451. 5625. Oh boy. Yeah, this is going to be most of my bedrock right here, just constructing the second roof. I didn't realize I had my calculator open twice. Howdy, welcome back. What version are you currently on? I see the Zella Moon rise. And truth be told, I feel like bedrock is good for small projects. This is, unfortunately, my Wither Combat Arena. Beta 1.9 pre-release 1. Are you going to take advantage of 11W49A? Alright, here, we'll finish this and then I'll reset the weather timer. And badoop. That'll be your time to stock up on bedrock. And spawn eggs. And spawners. And dragon eggs. I don't really know what else you would want, unless you like building and just completely mass produce building materials like wood. As someone who builds with a lot of wood on here, I probably should have given myself far more. I don't remember how many I acquired, if I even gave myself any of that. But while in the version, I should say, I didn't have plans to fight the Wither back in 11W49A. I don't think I was thinking that far ahead. You know, that's not true. I built, all the way back in Indev, super beacons made out of iron and gold. Because I was prepared to not want to spend the ores later. And so, even way back in Indev, perhaps even Classic, I was prepared to fight the Wither 6 times, however many beacons I set up. I also used the nether portals. The nether portals and source water blocks I still had around from test build 3. I know I used those in 1.7 because the item was going to get deleted in 1.8. Alright, here's what I think I'll do. We'll see if I end up regretting this decision later, but we are going to leave the very middle block open. So I'm pretty sure that's that one right there. So if I just go back around real fast. Yep, that's this one. 1, 2, 3, get that out of my hotbar. Alrighty, so this way, I still have my skylight for now. We'll see if that ends up changing. So let me head back up there as I redo all this real fast. In fact, I'll probably also fix up the ceiling for now, even though I know next time a wither's battled in here, it's going to be deleted again. Oh, I also covered up those skylights. Well, I have these torches in the corners, so I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Alright, well either way, those for sure I would rather keep covered. They're not important enough. Oh! I don't have a way to get back on the roof. We're just gonna do this real fast. Because now I need to count. I need to know how many blocks it takes going around. Alright, 1. 22. So yeah, it takes 22 blocks to go around each time. So I can do some math here. So that means if I split this up into 44 and 44, so that goes around once. Let's move that there. So that goes around twice. And then that's not enough. I'll end up with a stack and 2 bedrock left over if I were to add 3 more blocks going downward from the edges here. This is a difficult part. How do I construct 3 more blocks going downward? I think I'm done on the roof. It's all bedrock, so I don't need to worry about stuff spawning up there and lighting it up. I also think I need a ladder to fix one of these, right? Yeah, that ladder's missing. In fact, I'm going to write that down, or else I will forget. Alright, so that's a little too high up. I can't reach from down here. Can I reach from in here? Sort of. Alright, I think what I'll just need to do is hop out of here real fast. In fact, I think I'll do what I did previously. And we'll extend from these blocks, the cobblestone. I don't need to worry about fall prevention too much because falling is no longer an issue. So I did 1, 2, and then the bedrock. Layer 1, layer 2. This is layer 3, which means the bedrock would need to go on top of the last layer there. Alright, well, let's get this going first. What I'll probably do is fill in the bottom layer and then go inside and fill in the 2 layers above that just by going all the way around. Alright, this seems fine. Alright, this is the part where we trust the numbers and we hope. So 1, 2, oh, I can't reach that 3rd layer. 3. So this is the part that goes around. I'll need to make sure that I stay directly under the bedrock. If I mess up, then that's going to eat away from my last stack I have. Alright, one more. I guess I could keep an eye out for the cobblestone that pokes out on the sides. That's when I know I'm getting close to the corner. Oh, why does it pull the complete stack? I don't want the complete stack, I want the incomplete stack. Oh well. If all goes according to plan, I should be 2 blocks short. Because I placed 2 to get down here to begin with. One, 2. And I was indeed correct in the math. Hooray! So let's just catch some Z's and reset the weather timer as the Zella moon rises. I guess I could start placing down some of this. It really does want to pull the full stack, no matter the spot in the inventory. But that doesn't clean the inventory fast enough. Feels like it should be the other way around. Oh well. Alrighty. One and done. I should probably fill this one in and then keep the slot here open. That way I don't have to worry about jumping, I can just walk off. Howdy Ian, welcome back. And hooray, I got the math precise. Alright, so let's get rid of that real fast. I'll go down and pick that up soon. Alright, I believe all of this has now been filled in. And that's like kind of odd keeping this like this. I don't know what to put there though. Suza Android is still currently scheduled to be next after the break. And I think now this is all complete. This is now an extra layer of protection in the event that the Wither were to ever escape out of this box and end up in this area. At least now we have extra safety for all the bedrock that surrounds this now. And I still have a stack and 2 bedrock left, so that's enough for something in the future. Boop. Let's go down and pick up that cobblestone. The world will be infinite when we return. I haven't converted it yet because I've learned stuff from the last time I tried converting it for the Polyworld explanation video. So now I know what to do next time if I were to convert it again. Because I made it infinite just for that video, and it produced unsatisfactory results. And pasta stack. Hooray! Alright, so how's the Wither Combat Arena looking now? Now it looks like it's wearing a hat. That's kind of funny. I gave the bedrock box a second layer. Alright, well let's go put away the bedrock we have on us as to make sure we don't done goof. I don't remember the bug where chests broke in certain chunks, because if that was something I experienced, I don't remember it. I remember the problem wasn't with the chests in certain chunks, the problem was the world wasn't saving. That was something with those versions specifically. I don't think that had anything to do with the chest. I just think the world was encountering something that caused it to fail. Should be gone. Pretty sure all of that was fixed by the full version anyway. Or all of that was fixed later, because I thought that was only the first half of the versions. First half of the, I almost said pre-releases. Test builds is what they were called. I think. No. Maybe. I don't remember. Whatever the text says at the top of the screen. Maybe it was alpha build. Not important. Alright, how's it looking from here? Does look rather odd, but such is how it goes. I kind of want to trim it all the way around with cobblestone, but it's just going to be a hassle trying to get back up there. Through the Android is not the ultimate Bedrock Polyworld. It's just another test world for everything I need to learn for going through Bedrock versions. Speaking of Bedrock, I put away my Bedrock. We'll probably head off to the end real fast and get the pickaxe repaired. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me be smart about this. That way when I leave the end, I respawn here. Boop. I got smart and remembered to start doing that. You'll find out my ultimate goal when my ultimate goal comes to pass. My plans are measured in decades. We're almost halfway through one of these for 4 years into all this. You know, that's not true. In another 2 years, it'll be a whole decade if we consider Minecraft Legacy. I'm unable to provide any assistance for those who pass before they finish watching my series. I can't help make sure that life allows you to live long enough. To the end. Away. Over the past 10 years, I'm sure there are several people who are no longer alive anymore. Outside of family. That's a boat, right? Good job, me of the past. And this is why I keep a boat on me. I still keep the minecart on me for the same reason, even though the minecart's no longer as effective. We're only just past an hour into the day. Feels like it's been longer. Did they make changes to boat speed on packed ice? I don't know what the zipline is you're talking about. What changes do they make to minecarts that have been submitted? Because I thought they've only had experimental changes. Put a pig in a minecart and attach a boat to the pig. Attach a boat to the lead. How do I get the pig out of the minecart then? Thanks for being repaired. Oh wait, hold on, I should have held on to those. Oh well, we'll see if I get more. Let the boat fall under the track and move the minecart. This sounds more complicated than general purpose usage. I would also need a lot of vertical clearance for this. Alright, and we're nearly done. Does all the movement push the minecart forward? Is that the whole purpose of it? Num 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 num. The purpose is to carry over gaps. But you have to construct it all to begin with. You have to construct the top space where you ride along to begin with. I just view this more as decorational over practical. Something cool does not equal more effective, which was the original term you used. And boop. And this is why I kept the ender pearls. Hooray! Boop. And it's nighttime. Alrighty, everything's all nice and repaired. I believe we are all set now. So I did the weather stuff. I repaired all my tools. Not my boots, but that's okay. I guess that's that. We'll head back to the nether then. Start tree chopping. As I prepare... Yeah, we don't have any more... We don't have a lot more wood that would be used. Oh yeah, let's sort the signs. Where are the fences? I want to sort the fences. Boop. Is there anything else that can be sorted? Not particularly, but I feel like I still have other chests that need to be sorted as well. Which one of these would I have not touched in forever? Poor portal chest, totally useless. Maybe I've already sorted everything that I've needed to. Well, I don't know. Not important. We're not going that way. We're going back this way. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was gonna head up to Warehouse 3, the trilogy, and see if there was anything that needed sorting up there. But if this was after 1.13, just how many pre-1.13 blocks did I have in here to begin with? Like, I remember when I started filling up Warehouse 3, but I'm pretty sure that was before 1.13. Yeah, because I have 1.5 stuff in here. Oh yeah, we can sort the carpet. And the hardened clay. Have I not fixed the name? Guess not. We're gonna add that to the list of things to do. I already have signs, ores, and hardened clay on the list of things that need to be fixed. Ever so slowly, resource pack will be corrected. I think right about here is stuff that was collected after the conversion. I don't plan on having a single warehouse be the size of a biome. I just plan on having more warehouses. Make this place look like a computer board with the green board and the all the chips on it. So now let me collect one of you and one of you. So let's go tree chopping. I'll need a boat. We have some traveling to do. We'll see how far we get. I'm not gonna create a super sorter. I say that now, we'll see how I feel in 15 years. Alright, go, go, go. You know what's so nice? I got it going. The removal of nether fog. It's gonna be great once we head up here and you'll get to see what it's like without needing to deal with nether fog. Look, I can see far. Isn't this great? Goodbye 6 chunk render distance. So now we just have to go all the way to the 13W36A swamp. And I wish I remembered where I built that other portal. I don't plan on putting a super sorter when I made a return. I just relearned the item locations when part 4 started. Because I remember forgetting where everything was at the beginning. Those were the days. Even though that was like 10 months ago. Has it really been that long? When did part 4 begin? While we row across the ice, how about I whip out the calendar and check? So it looks like Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld began September 2024. It's not the 13W13A swamp, it's 13W36A swamp. I don't think, well, there might be a 13W13A. It doesn't sound like a snapshot period, though. I don't remember. So yeah, UMP started September 23rd. Yep, I was right, about 10 months. And that reminds me, once we reach a portal, once we reach hopefully the portal I'm looking for, I'll need to make sure to oh, you know what? I'll probably have to write the coordinates again in the from the overworld, calculate the nether coordinates. Because I think I built the portal in 2 locations. Because I messed up the first one and so I had to build it again. Alright, well, either way, hello there. I should write down that I need to mark every series I've had. Every main series I've had starting from UMP in 2021. Where am I at? I think I just passed. And boop. Nope, should be this one. If I'm remembering correctly. I'll find out when I pop out of the portal. Yeah, that should be it. Oh, that's right, I built the cobblestone pathway, even though I don't think it leads to where I want to be. It only got a little far. Oh, there's a fortress over there. Wow, I could really see. We're gonna bump that up real fast, in fact. We're gonna set this 20. Boop. Isn't it so nice when you could see what is in the nether? This is amazing. All this stuff has to load under normal circumstances. I don't know why they limited to just 6 chunks when everything's still here to begin with. Alright, well, we're gonna pass this and try to see if I could find where the portal is real fast. Because I built one portal off in that direction, and that ended up being incorrect. Because I see my cobblestone bridges over there. You know, I don't remember where it is. I'll just play the smart game. We're gonna travel through the overworld to find it. And whoop. Hello. Hello, sir. How's it going? Let's not hop back through. Alright. Row your boat. Does water not have biome blending? Because I was messing with biome blending yesterday. Oh, I don't have any biome blend on. Oh, you know what? I know why. I was doing my test, but I know why I totally forgot about biome blending. It's because I don't see any biome colors. I only see water color. I forgot about that. If I could see biomes like normal, I would have realized that I left biome blending off from what I was doing yesterday. Because I had a couple chunks that, if y'all remember, I realized they just sort of got deleted. I don't have the choice for swamp water. This is incapable of being changed through regular means. You would need a mod to do so. Used to be able to do that with Optifine, and it makes me sad at how many Optifine features require a list of mods to replicate. Optifine was all in one, and now to get every functionality, you'd have to have 5 or more mods to bring it all together. Oh well. I don't know how long it takes to boat, though. I feel like it'd be a wise decision to just start sleeping here. And whoop. I'm already in the Neo-Optifine era. But it's too much of a hassle getting the mods updated for every single pre-release and release candidate version, plus there's no guarantee of them working properly to begin with, or even supporting the version. So for that reason, is why the last time I used a mod on this world was, I think, 1.12? I think it was 1.12 the last time I enjoyed multiple. 1.14 and 1.16, I only had one mod, and that was to put a cap on maximum levels. The maximum level to combine enchantments, making it only level 39 to correct the no more too expensive mechanic. I've never heard of Slider Adventures. The Slider is the name of a YouTuber, and Slider Adventures is a series. There's this old random game that I've never heard of. A game you played a long time ago. My second thought was correct then. I see my tower. Still looks like the Washington Monument. Except it's red at the top and on fire. Maybe this is a disaster movie. Sharknado destroyed the Washington Monument. Think of Sharknado 3. Sure, it's been destroyed plenty of other times. The last time I watched a disaster movie was a couple months ago, I think, in preparation for. It was when I was staying at the hotel before a wedding. 2012 happened to be playing at that time. Why is it notoriously difficult to record and stream? I need to keep going to the left. I'm realizing just how much ocean there is out here since it's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen all this stuff. Then all you would need to do is not stream the game, because you're gonna have a bitrate cap on your uploader. I can't remember what the values for Twitch and YouTube are, but if you record, you can record at near lossless quality. It'll just take some OBS setup. That way the details shall be preserved, mostly. It's all hardware dependent though. Don't worry, Paul, this is not at all a long journey. Remember when I had to travel 22,000 blocks, hello Enderman, 22,000 blocks to the monolith by rail, by regular booster rail? That was a long journey. Gone are those days. Because now if I want to get to the monolith, I just hop into the nether and take the boat, take the ice highway. I remember when I chose to travel 12.5 million blocks. That's an even longer journey. Dare I say, a far journey to the lands that are far, but in the nether. The overworld farlands were really short. To think that to access the overworld farlands, I only had to pass the 3rd duplicated spawn chunk, and then poof, 12.58 million. If I really wanted, I probably could have gone to the very start of the farlands. I just didn't feel like walking. I wanted to keep the journey going. It would have been harder to walk to the end of the farlands, though. I think I need to keep going this way. It would have been harder to walk to the end of the farlands, because when I popped out of the nether, I was only around 29 million, I think. I could have gone out of there if I wanted to walk a couple million blocks to make it to 32 million. But that's kind of redundant after 1.6 though. So 1.6 is the last version you can go up to 32 million. Anytime after that. Of course, you'd have to be in creative and flying, because the terrain would be non-solid, but it's still possible to fly out to those distances. So in practicality, only about 30 million would be the smarter limit. That'd be the farthest survival distance. Nom 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 nom. The hybrid MP4 format doesn't have, I should say it does not have better compression or I should say it does not have a reduced file size. The point of the hybrid format is for compatibility and redundancy. I should say fault protection. That doesn't have anything to do with the file size. Is it really new though? I've been using hybrid MP4 for months now. Of course, I remember when there was only the regular MP4, but then they added fragmented MP4. I tried that, and I saw the compatibility issues they were talking about. And then they came out with, I got back to where I needed, and then they came out with the hybrid MP4. And so that's what I've been using since then. All right, and boop, it looks like the saplings and the sticks were in suspended animation. I left them in digital purgatory if they were just sitting on the ground, as these chunks haven't been loaded for 5 minutes since I chopped them down. Even though out here in the real world, I haven't been here in weeks. No, maybe only 2 or 3 weeks. Whenever I last tree chopped in that area. Alright, put that away. You ended up in the 30-something million corner because you got far past Oops, how did that block come back? You weren't paying attention to your coordinates and you were just popping in and out of the portal. And alright, now this is all gonna start decaying. Alright, how many more trees are there? You know, I never really did anything with any mushroom related stuff. There are at least 2 different Mushy Island locations, I'm pretty sure. The main island, and not the one that's right at a chunk border. I guess that one doesn't even count because it's just the biome on none of the terrain, which is kind of funny. So these mushrooms right at a chunk border with ocean. Anyways, I realized because I looked over that giant mushroom and realized I haven't done anything Mushroom Island related. Part of that is I've been focused on the main area. I never thought it was worth setting up an outpost in one. The only benefit other than to collect mycelium, and because it's usually generates as an island, the main benefit is no hostile mob spawn. But since I just light up my entire world anyway, I don't have to deal with hostile mobs much anyways. Howdy Koski, welcome back. Not every game that came out in the post-YouTube era is designed to look nice on YouTube anyway. The game is designed to look nice for the people who play it on the hardware it's intended for. You already know where your Mushy Island is. The nearest the nearest one to you. If you installed Windows on a virtual machine, what have you used it for so far? Or have you just installed it and not tried to run anything dedicated on there? Boop. I guess you'll find out as time passes whether or not you need the virtual machine for anything. Howdy Zunaka, welcome back. I don't have any opinions on the copper golems as I haven't been keeping up with that stuff. I don't plan on playing any versions that would have copper golems anytime soon. I haven't looked at any demonstrations or read up on the wiki and what their implemented functionality is. I only remember their demonstration back for the mob vote in Minecraft Live. I just remember that you create them, they oxidize over time, and they like to push copper buttons. Howdy, howdy, all of y'all. It's kind of funny how several people showed up within the span of about 3 minutes. It's always possible that the developer just had internal tools for level development and never exposed that stuff to the public, all part of the project setup. If you try changing the text in the text files, you can always see if that makes any effect within the game itself. You know what? I should probably just do all that. There we go. Nice and organized inventory. A clean inventory is a happy inventory. I will continue to say. Let's think. So we have enough time, I believe, to at least finish this section of trees, since I think there's only a few left. So once this section of trees is gone, the ones I'm currently standing on, we'll move back that way and start sliding across the edge there, edge of the desert. So I guess I'd be off in that corner. See if there's a way to segment it. What up? Small games from the early 2000s have a certain feel to them because of the type of hardware they had at the time and the budget. There's also the push for creativity. These days, it's harder to find the small creative games when there's a lot of the big companies doing all their promotional for the big stuff. Alright, this ended up being a very, very tall, poofy tree. I should probably soon start getting one of the shulker boxes ready. I'll start tossing all the logs into there. But as time passes, I'll just take that sapling because I was sitting up there for a little bit. As time passes, though, I'll need to make sure that I pick up all the goods as they continue to fall. No saplings left behind. At some point, they'll serve a purpose. Maybe I should make another smelting area with multiple furnaces. In fact, even multiple furnace types. And then instead of just putting regular coal in there, I'll just, nope. Instead of putting regular coal in there, I'll just fill it up with saplings. Because the amount of saplings I'll be getting from all these trees is a rather large amount. At least, since most of these are oak, I'll just put them with all the other oak saplings. And boop. Hopefully, we do all the tree chopping the day, and then not worry about tree chopping tomorrow, and just start focusing on the shelves. We'll see how long it takes to fill up the inventory. My current plan is that once my inventory and the shulker boxes are full of wood, it'll be time to head back. I'll probably not craft every chest for the shelves at the beginning, though. I'd rather not end up with a few extra stacks of chests when I could have used that as wood. We'll see what I end up doing with these spruce logs, though, if I end up with a bunch extra. I plan on only converting the spruce logs in the chests. There's not enough oak and birch from this area. Looking at the article for the removal of spawn chunks, I don't see a problem with it because as the page itself suggested, there are already multiple other ways to keep chunks active. So if you really want chunks to be permanently loaded, you no longer have to build them near spawn. I view it as a positive when it comes to chunk management. So if the alternatives are already in there, there's no issue with the removal. It also means that you can now have the same functionality of spawn chunks anywhere. I view that as a positive. You're no longer limited to close to the world origin. Because I remember not that long ago, the change where ender pearls keep chunks loaded. Oh, I already filled that up. I'm kind of waiting around for more of these leaves to decay. However, I think it'll be time to start moving out. Num 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 num. Alright, one last sweep of the area, then we'll start working on the trees on the other side. I don't need those ink sacs. I need glowing sacs. Turns out there's an advancement for applying a glowing sac to a sign. No. Yes, it was a sign. All you would need to do then, find a place, the middle of the ocean. Find a place in the middle of the ocean and build a platform out of something that's not grass. I'm sure you have a fast method of teleporting to and from. Maybe not teleport, but a fast way of moving around. There's a lot of dark oak trees, except they're not really dark oak because they're made out of spruce. But the point being, if you need stuff to be loaded, but without animals, and without clearing out the area, oceans are a great place to do that. And boop. I wonder if deserts. Well, I guess it's more of a controlled environment in the ocean. Because the ocean is flat, deserts are not flat. Animals can't spawn on sand. That's not true. Rabbits spawn on sand. I think. That's how you get desert rabbits. I'm pretty sure desert rabbits spawn on sand. That would make sense. I do not know the technical knowledge for that. I see no complaints then, because that means you've already cleaned out the spawn chunks, which I had a feeling was the case. I was just going to wait for you to further clarify. Alright, I forget about camels, because not once have I used a camel. At least I don't think so. Maybe only a couple minutes in testing. This would have been years ago. When were they introduced? 1.20? Because 1.19 was frogs. Either way, I forget about camels. Kind of like how I forgot about the strider. I was trying to think of all the mobs that were red. There was the mushroom, the strider, and now I think there's one more that I'm forgetting. The Vex turns red when it's angry. Used to only spawn in desert villages. I feel like if there's not a reason, a mob that's intended to be useful should not be limited to such an area. Unless they're trying to promote exploration. Which wasn't there something... I feel like they changed something recently that was supposed to promote exploration. What was it? I was reading up on the wiki, and I can't remember what it was. Not important. I feel like camels are a luxury mob, whereas horses are utility. It's the difference of useful versus looks nice. It is nice for camels being able to have two people ride on them. So that way, whoever's the passenger just gets to sit back and relax. Maybe that's what they were thinking. All the camels there were already domesticated. You can fly villagers by hopping on a happy ghast, putting a villager in a boat, and putting the boat on a lead, and then flying them around. You can't lead villagers directly, right? Or did they finally change that? Because for the longest time, you were unable to lead villagers. Well, then eventually they added the ability to lead boats. Oh, I don't want the seeds. I'm gonna keep the seeds though because I picked them up. Now it's just taking up inventory space. Here it is. In fact, here's what we'll do. Boop. Start keeping my sticks in my offhand. +1 inventory slot. Maximum space. And I feel like we're gonna run out of time for the day before I run out of storage space that I have with me. And whoop. I was looking at the wiki, I believe. I didn't read fully on what the latest snapshot article said. I was only looking at it for the spawn chunk explanation. But the wiki currently states the next intended version is going to be the fall update. So does that mean they are planning a 1.21.9? Are we going to be on 1.21 for years? And it just goes 1.21, 0.10, 0.11, 0.12. When's 1.22 coming out? I feel like if they were smart, they'd take advantage of this time and just keep working on 1.22 in the background, doing a lot of internal testing, making sure it's fun. That's the big point of Minecraft, I believe. Making sure that 1.22 is fun and useful and something people would enjoy. Because if they keep just doing all these small updates for years and years, I feel like at what point do we just get used to that being the only update Minecraft receives these days? If Mojang sticks to their word, they're not going to add a new dimension until the end gets another update. A few years back during one of the Minecraft lives, they were talking about how they didn't want to add a new dimension until the current dimensions received big upgrades. Some time passes, 1.16 came out, the Nether got an upgrade. Some more time passes, 1.18 comes out, the Overworld, Caves and Cliffs. The Overworld got a big upgrade. Time passed, still no end update. The end has been exactly how it has ever since 1.9. We're gonna ignore the end void rings. That doesn't count. I don't think that's intentional. But if it's not fixed, I don't know why. Anyways, not important. Point being, the end has not yet received an update since Mojang has last said that. So if they're gonna stick to their word, they're not gonna add a new dimension until an end update. But to my knowledge, They have not made any mention of an end update officially. Amplified end would not become the main end. If anything, they would only be in End Mountains biome. Would not make another dimension. Paul, are you a little behind on the stream? Live check. This is the part of the stream where I ask all of y'all to double check, make sure that the little button at the bottom left is now live. Make sure it's red. I didn't do that right. Boop. If Mojang was going to give people what they want, an end update in 1.22 would be logical. This is kind of what I'm hoping, that 1.22 is the end update, but it's not ready yet. And so, until they're confident that it's something worth showing off, they're going to keep focusing on all these smaller versions and the smaller features until then. But it does make me wonder, for how long are they going to do this? When did 1.21 first release? The trial chambers? Was that 2024 or 23? So much time has passed, I've already forgotten. We've been on 1.21 for so long now, I don't remember when it first came out. I don't know who Rob Top is, or what he did. And pretty soon here, maybe I should start tossing saplings. Here's what I'll do. I'll put down the other shulker box. This is where, those are all complete stacks, so those can go away. The button for you, Paul, still says live. It just seems like you asked a question that was delayed. Took 8 years to release Geometry Dash 2. Oh. 2.2. Could be worse. I feel like you're not gonna find a worse situation. Because if not, feel free to correct me, but I feel like you're not gonna find a worse game development situation than Yandere Dev when it comes to length of releases and over promises. Didn't have an update for 17 years and got one randomly. That was kind of like System Shock. The original System Shock wasn't updated for a very long time. And then one day, they came out saying, hey, we got a brand new version. We got, I should say they went back to the original source code. A full source rebuild. That was rather interesting. They already had System Shock Enhanced going on, so I guess there must have been some reason for going back to the original System Shock. I don't know how many of the enhanced features were brought over and remade for the original System Shock. There's the red button. If you're on desktop, like the smallest point or the smallest percentage of my viewers, you're looking at hovering over the bottom left of the video. Near the play button. There's a play and the mute button. The little dot next to live should be red. Or live itself. Maybe both. There's a heart. I'm pretty sure that's the like button. If you want to like, no, that's not the like video. I'm not talking about the chat, I'm talking the video player. So that heart might not be the like button. I think the heart is the, you press the button and it pops up on the stream. or pops up on screen. Alright, let's try to find the next good place. There's not really a good way to just keep choppy tree. If I look around... No, there is no right way to do this, because if we just head up top here, you see I have to keep going. I have plenty of trees to just keep chopping all this wood collection all the way until those mountains, because you've got the river here that cuts off the forest from the roofed forest. So all the way until the mountain range that's barely seen in the distance, which would be about 20 to 25 chunks away. That's the point where all these trees come to an end. So I have plenty of trees here to just keep chopping. But Paul's right, we are indeed coming upon the end of the day. So if y'all have any final thoughts, start saying them now. Because out of time, so we're going to keep chopping the day. Is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. You know what that means? That means tomorrow is my final regular stream day, and then we enter my preparation period. I don't know what I'll do, but I have a week to figure it out. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be the last regular stream day for the series. And I believe that's indeed all it for this time. Thank you all for watching. Bye.